Hello everyone, welcome back to Believer Science Academy, Bengaluru. This is topic of the day. Before I start my topic, let me show you a video. Watch this video and then I will start the topic. Okay, so this is a scene from the movie Train to Busan, where a deer is killed but comes back to life, but this time as a zombie. This was from the movie. Previously, what we thought of zombies, zombie deers, was in movies. Now, let me show you another video. So that is real life. Did you see the similarities? The way the deer in the movie was acting and the way deers in this real life were acting were very similar. That is why we call them as zombie deer disease. So zombie deers are not only in the movies or not only in the fiction or in the fiction, they are also in reality. So in today's video, we will discuss what is this zombie deer disease, why does it happen, and who is the reason behind this zombie deer disease, and can human beings get this disease. So let us discuss today's video, that is zombie deer disease, when nature imitates the horror movie. So today's topic will understand the rise of chronic wasting disease. We'll discuss what is it. It sounds like a movie, but it is real in reality. In the Last of Us or World War Z made you fear zombies, here's nature's version. The forest of North America, real animals are turning into mindless, staggering creatures. Scientists call this zombie deer disease. This isn't science or this isn't fiction. It is happening right now in the forest across the world, especially in the North American continents, affecting thousands of wild animals and raising alarming questions about the future. So, the science behind this scare. What is the science behind this scare? What we colloquially call as a zombie deer disease is actually a chronic wasting disease. What is this? Also known as CWD. This is a progressive and fatal disease which attacks brain and spinal cords of infected animals. In zombies, what happens is whenever a zombie bites you, you die and your brain is overtaken by whatever the cause of zombie is. In some movies, the cause of zombie is virus. In some movies, it is bacteria. In some series like The Last of Us, it is fungus. So various are the reasons behind the zombies. So when the zombies attack you or when the bacteria, virus, anything attacks you, you lose the control of your brain and the brain is controlled by this particular virus or etc vectors. Okay, so it starts controlling your brain. As a result, you lose the control of brain and you act as if you are not a human being or you are not a person. Here also it is happening the same. Here it attacks the brain and spinal cord of the infected animals, so they lose control of their body itself. Who are the affected species? Fortunately for us, human beings are not part of it, but targets are majorly deer, elk, moose, and reindeer populations across multiple continents. As you saw in the video, you could have seen many of the deer pop species like deer, elk, moose, etc. And the zombie behavior cause the animals to lose coordination, awareness, and weight, which resembles a zombie behavior, which makes it truly unsettling. Next, the villain. So, as I told you in the zombie movies, it is either virus, bacteria, fungus, etc., etc., protozoa, etc. But in reality, this zombies is not caused by virus, bacteria, etc. It is caused by something called as prions. What is this prions? These are the proteins when they go rogue. That is, CWD is caused by prions and not viruses or bacteria. These prions are nothing but misfolded proteins that force normal proteins to misfold too. So normally when the protein is synthesized, it goes through a process called as folding. Okay, folding. First is from RNA to DNA and then from DNA to protein. What happens here is, first there is transcription, which happens from DNA to RNA, RNA to DNA, and then there is translation, which results in DNA to RNA, a protein, and from protein it happens folding. So these proteins are produced because of folding, but whenever there is a misfolding, these proteins become prions, which is a very negative for the body. Okay, over the time they create a spongy hole in the brain leading to the inevitable death. So these prions causes a spongy holes in your brain which results in the death. So here there is no DNA, no RNA, just chaos. So RNA, DNA, everything is removed, only prions are left. Next, how the infection spreads. So it spreads through bodily fluids. Okay, so transmission through saliva, urine, feces, and blood between the infected and healthy animals results in the transmission. And then environmental contamination, that is prions contaminate the soil, water, plants, creating a persistent infection zones. Now if any other healthy animal goes on to drink this goes on to drink this water and eat the plants, it will turn into a zombie deer as well. Next, nearly indestructible. What is this? Prions remain active for years in environment, almost impossible to destroy these prions. Normally what happens with the bacteria and virus, we find some sort of antibiotics, some sort of antiviral, antibacterial, antifungal, but here it is not any uh, pro, it is not any bacteria, virus, or this pathogen. It is nothing but our own body proteins. So it is very difficult to find cure for this. Next, symptoms of this is in the months 1 to 18, 0 to 18 is the incubation period. That is, there is no visible symptoms. Animal appears to be completely healthy, whilst the prions silently multiply in the brain. And in the second months, that is from the 18 to 24, early symptoms, that is weight loss begins, which is called as wasting. And then loss of fear of humans. That is normally when the deer see the human beings, they start running away. But in this case, there is a loss of fear of humans. And drooping head and excessive drooling. The head starts tilting sideways and it starts excessively drooling. What you see in the dogs whenever it goes through rabies. Okay, excessive drooling will be seen in this CWD. And final stage is zombie behavior, that is severe confusion, stumbling, complete loss of coordination, and finally death follows inevitably. Okay, so these are the symptoms. Next, there is no cure and no vaccine and no mercy. That is, it is 100% fatal. CWD is 100% fatal. That is, once the symptoms appear, it results in fatality. Every infected animal will eventually die. And the treatment is, there is no effective treatment or vaccination exists for this devastating disease. And the control methods, wildlife agencies rely on testing and culling infected populations and movement bans. So no other alternative. You have to kill the animals which are infected so that it doesn't infect many other animals. Next, can humans get it? This is the big question. Can human beings really turn into the zombies which are portrayed in the movies? Can they really become unbrain or brain dead animals or zombies? Answer is not very simple, it is complicated. Should human beings be worried? There have been no confirmed human infections so far from this CWD, but there was a mad cow disease which was similar to CWD, which was similar to zombie deer disease, which jumped from cattle to human beings in the 1990s, which became a zoonotic disease. What is zoonotic? Which transfer from the animals to human beings is called as zoonotic disease. So in this case, mad cow disease was found to jump from cattle to human beings. So CWD warns, avoid consuming the infected meat. If there is any animal which is already suffering from the zombie disease, then it is better to avoid eating that meat. So 1990s mad cow disease, that the prions from this cow jumped to human beings because of consumption of that meat. In 2020s, zombie disease are similar prion diseases which is spreading rapidly throughout the wildlife, but no confirmed cases of human beings. So, in all fairness, there is no threat to human beings, but but in future there can be cases of prions jumping from these animals to human beings. So, what should we do? We should be careful and avoid consuming all the animals that are infected with ZWD. So, global spread from the Colorado to the world. That is, what began in Colorado in the 1990s or 1960s has now become a global wildlife crisis, spreading across continents with alarming speed. 30 plus, what is this? 30 plus US states have been affected. That is, over 30 American states now report CWD cases. 60 years of spread, that is 60 decades or 6 decades since the first detection in 1960s of Colorado. And then 4 continents detected in North America, Europe, and even in Asia. And the disease has been detected both wild and captive populations, with cases confirmed in USA, Canada, Scandinavia, and South Korea as well, which was the reason behind the first clip in the Train to Busan. Okay, so this CWD was the inspiration behind making this Train to Busan movie. So this is about zombie disease. So what is this? It is a nature's warning. The scariest part of CWD isn't what we know, it is what we don't know yet. That is a biological time bomb. That is, zombie deer disease is more than a wildlife crisis. It is a warning. It shows how a single misfolded protein can outlast nature, evolve, and possibly jump species. In most of the zombie movies, what they show is they shows the evolution of the zombie virus or bacteria. Zombie virus or bacteria, they evolve from small pathogens to such pathogens that cannot be controlled by any means. Okay, here also there is evolution of prions. Next, the thin line. CWD demonstrates the power and persistence of prions, reminding us of the thin line between species and the fragility of our ecosystem. And then finally, our only defense. Our only defense in this case is vigilance, surveillance, and science are the only weapons we have against this relentless disease. Continued research and monitoring are essential. Make sure that they do not result in the affection or affecting human beings. Okay, not avoid this zombie kind of movies in real life. So that is the topic for the day. I think I have covered this in a holistic way. I think I have covered it in an interesting way. So if you like the video, then please hit the like button, comment on it, and also subscribe to the channel. And if you're new to the channel, please click on the bell icon so that you don't miss a notification. With this, I will end the video. Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.